families, welcome back once again. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell, the inauguration ceremony in Burkina Faso is in full stream. I've seen a lot of delegates, presidents arrive this morning. I'll be sharing some of them with you, maybe add few to this video if it is not too long. But for now, the history about our late Thomas Sankara, Captain Thomas Sankara, is what they want to share with us first before the other speeches and what went on and the ceremony itself. Families, please listen and I'll be back. Thank you for your time. This is just to refresh our mind, and also if you don't know more about him, this particular video will explain a lot of things together with his fellow men that were deleted. Thank you.
A title, the mere mention of Captain Thomas Sankara's name alone embodies the liberation of African peoples, the struggle for international sovereignty and against imperialism, a struggle whose seed was sown on December 21, 1949 in Yaku in Pasore by a young officer of the Voltaic Army. Thomas Sankara would especially distinguish himself in the training of young soldiers, serving as Secretary of Information in the government of Colonel Césaire Beau, Prime Minister under Medical Commander Jean-Baptiste Ouédraogo. He became head of state on August 4, 1983. Assassinated on October 15, 1987, Thomas Sankara remains vivid in the collective consciousness. A portrait of Captain Thomas Sankara in this commentary from ICEA Canada.
Imperialism, Arha. Neocolonialism, Arha. The Igas with their slimy gaze, Arha.
Anti-imperialist, pan-Africanist, sovereigntist, Sankarist. So many labels for a single vision, the one embodied by Captain Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara, the father of Burkina Faso's democratic and popular revolution. A revolution proclaimed on August 4, 1983 when he came to power. Born on December 21, 1949, in Yako, in the province of Pasore, Thomas Sankara attended primary school in Gawa, in the southwest, where he also served as an altar boy, then went on to secondary studies at Ouizan Coulibaly High School in Bobo-Dioulasso, and completed the upper cycle in Ouagadougou at the Kadiogo Military Academy. After obtaining his baccalaureate, Thomas Sankara underwent officer training at the Ansirabe Military Academy in Madagascar. Upon returning to Upper Volta in 1973 with the rank of second lieutenant, he was assigned to train new recruits. In 1974, he distinguished himself militarily during the First War between Mali and Upper Volta. In 1976, he became commander of the SENEC, the National Commando Training Center located in Pau, in the province of Nauri. A leftist activist inspired by the ideals of the Revolutionary and Proletarian International, he founded, together with friends and political comrades such as Blaise Compaoré, Henri Zongo, and Jean-Baptiste Bukari Lingani, the group of communist officers known as ROCP. In September 1981, Thomas Sankara was appointed Secretary of State for Information in the government of Colonel Césaire Beau, under the CMRPN, the Military Committee for the Recovery of National Progress, before resigning dramatically with this now famous statement, "Woe to those who muzzle their people." On November 7, 1982, a coup d'etat against the CMRPN brought Medical Commander Jean-Baptiste Ouédraogo to power. Sankara became Prime Minister in January 1983. On May 17th of the same year, he was dismissed and placed under house arrest. On August 4, 1983, leading a military column from the Pau garrison, Blaise Compaoré, who had rebelled since the arrest of Thomas Sankara, marched on Ouagadougou and seized power. The Democratic and Popular Revolution, RDP, was thus proclaimed. Its governing body was the National Council of the Revolution, and Captain Thomas Sankara became president of the CNR and head of state. Immediately after taking power, Thomas Sankara and the CNR embarked on a proactive policy to transform Voltaic society. On the first anniversary of the revolution, they changed the country's name, the national anthem, and the flag. Thus, Upper Volta became Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, and the Voltecs became Burkinabe. The Proud Volta, the former national anthem, was replaced by the Gitanian, the anthem of victory. In 1986, he denounced the excesses of the revolution and called on revolutionaries to unite against imperialism, neocolonialism, and foreign domination in order to build a free, dignified, and upright Burkina. On October 15, 1987, Thomas Sankara was assassinated during a coup d'etat, thus bringing 4 years of Sankarist revolution to an end. 38 years after his death, Captain Thomas Sankara remains an icon for the youth of Burkina Faso and the entire world. To kill Sankara is to give birth to thousands of other Sankaras he had declared before his death. And as if fulfilling a prophecy, Burkina Faso today finds itself at a decisive turning point in its socio-political history, with the progressive popular revolution now embodied by another captain, Captain Ibrahim TRAORE.
Captain Thomas Sankara was assassinated along with 12 of his companions, some of whom are little known, such as Sibiri, Alain Zagre, Nufu, Sawadogo, Amade Sawadogo, and Frederic Kimde. They are among those referred to as the ill-fated companions of President Sankara, who was killed and hastily buried at the Dagloin cemetery. A mausoleum has been erected in their memory, and its inauguration is scheduled for this very afternoon at the Thomas Sankara Memorial Site. But who were the companions of Thomas Sankara assassinated on October 15, 1987? The answer with Nia Kiteda.
Among the 12 companions of Captain Thomas Sankara assassinated on October 15, 1987 at the Conseil de l'Entente was the civil servant Babu Polen Bamouni, who held a third-cycle doctorate in Information and Communication Sciences and served as the director of the Presidential Press until October 15, 1987.
Polen Bamouni, a major architect of revolutionary thought because he wrote a book about the revolution. In fact, it was the first book to develop a theory about the revolution, of course, along with the DOP speeches, the political orientation speeches, and other speeches that Sankara gave here and there.
Babu Polen Bamouni died at the age of 37. Bonaventure Compaoré is another civilian and companion of Captain Thomas Sankara. With a master's degree in social sciences, Bonaventure Compaoré served as the advisor on social affairs. He is a member of the Permanent Secretariat of the National Council of the Revolution, the CNR. He was also the advisor on social affairs to President Thomas Sankara until the dark day of October 15, 1987. He died at the age of 31. Patrice Agré, for his part, was an assistant professor of philosophy. A great thinker, he was the director of studies at the Yorna Mono Military Academy in Pau until the tragedy of October 15, 1987.
A university professor, so he was truly a thinker as well, a philosopher who really contributed with his thoughts, ideas, and deep reflections on the revolution.
A great thinker and ideologue, the philosopher Patrice Agré died at the age of 35. A civilian actor in the preparation for the advent of the August 1983 revolution, Frederic Ganuaga Kiende, a native of Ames in Gansugo, was the mastermind behind the political and legal matters of the CNR. He was a legal advisor at the time of the events. He died at only 29 years old. In addition to these civilians, soldiers and gendarmes also perished in the carnage of the afternoon of October 15, 1987. Among them were the gendarmes Emmanuel Batieno and Paterne Monsoré, whose cases are particularly tragic.
He was a gendarme who had come to deliver a letter, and it was just as he was handing over the letter that the operation began, so he died under those circumstances.
Among the soldiers who were coldly executed on October 15th was also Aboulé Kouem, a private first class. He was one of the drivers for the charismatic leader of the August 1983 revolution. Air Force corporal and bodyguard is also one of the drivers. He was driving Thomas Sankara that day. Christophe Saba, this army warrant officer, was the permanent secretary of the National Council of the Revolution. Sergeant Amade Ouedraogo was also one of the victims of the tragic events of October 15, 1987, as were the two first-class soldiers Nufo Sawadogo and Walile Ouedraogo.
Thank you so much, families, for listening and watching. It's sad that things like this happen and it continues to happen. And I saw President J.J. Rawlings also in one of the videos. And I was thinking they will be together, they will be watching on us. They have deleted them, but they haven't deleted what they came, to this earth to accomplish. Yes, if God do not permit it, it won't happen. They have accomplished something. And that's why today, the whole world those who believe in freedom and justice are talking and thinking about them all that fought for freedom. Yes, real freedom, and not what some people talk about, but they don't really believe in it. And yeah, a lot is coming into my mind, but I will leave it here. The video will be long. I'll be back with the Prime Minister's speech and I'll end it here. Then tomorrow we'll continue with more because a lot went down. They started late, and as you can tell, it's getting late already. So I will not disturb you. Credit to our TB News Faso 7. Thank you so much, my families. I'm grateful for your support. Let's still keep hoping and praying for the AES because this is something they never, all these years, nobody has done what Captain Ibrahim TRAORE, the president, has done. Set aside a place, build a place within a short time for the generation to come to go and read what the late Captain Thomas Sankara has done. So it's a beautiful thing to do. It's in honor of all those who have lost their life. Yeah. And those involved should be ashamed. Yeah, that's all. Anyway, families, I'll leave you here. I'll be back. Thank you for your time.